Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to talk about what happened in Texas. And I'm going to answer two questions that came in from somebody who is from Germany. And it deals with stereotypes and the way a lot of people see themselves, and the reality. And then it deals with perceptions and seeing something. I'm from Germany. I saw your news from Texas. I'm so very sorry. I have two questions. We view Texas as the place where everybody carries a gun. Is this wrong? Why didn't somebody shoot back? There were so many people around to stop it. The second question. Do you think the horrible footage will help make people more likely to make their politicians act, or at least shift thought, as you like to say? First question. Okay. Texas, a place where everybody carries a gun. Whole lot of people. Undoubtedly, there were people in that crowd that had a firearm. Why didn't they shoot back? Because contrary to a lot of people's self-perception, most people aren't killers. Most people are not killers. Even an even smaller amount is the sort that would rush towards it and actively respond if they thought they could get away. That's the reality of it. Most people are not up to that. Do you think the horrible footage will make people more likely to make their politicians act, or at least shift thought? When it comes to Texas, the people there in Texas are actually incredibly supportive of action. A lot of thought has already shifted. I think it would surprise most people to know that more than 3/4, 76% of people in Texas support the idea of raising the age from 18 to 21 in Texas. When it comes to the idea of allowing courts to make people surrender their firearms if they are found to pose a risk to themselves or others, 72%. It isn't really a matter of shifting thought when it comes to the things that, at least I think, would really be effective. It's not a matter of that. It's a matter of politicians catering to an echo chamber and creating that identity and making sure that those who are within the Republican Party don't dare vote for the other party. I mean, let's be real. 76 and 72%. There aren't a whole lot of things in the United States that have that kind of support. You don't get polling numbers that high. But odds are that's not going to happen, not in Texas. Because the politicians are very entrenched. Their rhetoric is too heavily linked to the idea that they need to cast themselves as somebody who would respond. Those politicians, had they been there, well, you're right. They absolutely would have acted. It's marketing. They market the tough guy image so they can't break away from it, even when it is a ridiculously popular opinion. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to take to get a shift from the Republican Party, particularly those in super red states. When it comes to Texas, I mean, they've had a pretty rough year when it comes to stuff like this. So maybe, I don't know. As far as the footage itself, I don't know. I mean, when I talk about footage, if it's bad, I will tell y'all. Maybe y'all don't watch this, you know. I will put that advice out there because I don't think that's something that everybody needs in their psyche. I think that it might desensitize people. I don't know. I could be wrong. There's a debate about this when it comes to driver's ed videos as well. There's reporting that suggests that driver's ed videos that show things in detail as far as accidents, that they actually aren't more effective. In fact, they may be less effective than just encouraging positive behavior. I don't know that things being gruesome actually shifts thought. I know that in this case, because it was such a public place, and there were so many people, there is a lot of footage of this. And I will tell you, I would not suggest you look at it. But as far as using it to that end, I think that is a decision that is 100% up to the families involved. I would not take it upon myself to use footage like that for memes or advertising in an attempt to shift thought. I think that would definitely need to be up to the people who are family members. But we don't, from Europe, from other places, it's got to be so weird. We don't have a plan. We really don't. At this point, it seems like the current plan is to let those who are younger, who are dealing with this now, get to the point where they can vote, and vote in numbers large enough to override the crowd that grew up with a bunch of firearms. And the thing is, if that's the way it goes, it will go from everything's legal to everything being banned. The ultimate irony in all of this is that the Republican politicians that are so steadfast in, we're not going to have any regulations whatsoever, their intractability on that is probably going to lead to incredibly restrictive gun legislation, I would say, within my lifetime. Whereas if they actually took steps, reasonable steps, 18 to 21, taking firearms from people deemed a threat after due process, that's even involving the courts in it. I think if they did that, it would reduce a lot of these incidents, which would ultimately probably lead to less of a desire to just get rid of them altogether. That's the funny part. There is something funny. Their own rhetoric, buying into it, becoming so immovable on the subject, is probably going to lead to firearm restrictions that are far beyond anything that would happen if they made even the slightest efforts to mitigate this issue. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.